Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Hollie. You may have seen me a few weeks ago there as the mystery guest on Takeover Thursday. I am a parishioner of St Mary's Parish, Melbourne, Strabane. Um, I go to Holy Cross College and I'm currently in year 13 and I'm doing the Pope John Paul Award. I'm doing the gold. And for my parish hours, I'm doing reading every Saturday night, the Sunday Vigil Mass, and I absolutely love it. It's something that I've always wanted to do before. However, I don't think I had the confidence to ask, but when the Pope John Paul Award came, um, it gave me that excuse to start, to ask. And um, reading, so it was a great confidence builder, and it's opened me up to so many opportunities. For instance, my parish priest, Father Doherty, and Sister Margaret asked me specifically to join them at a prayer service for Interdenominational Week, where different branches of Christianity, different churches came together to celebrate, to pray for Christian unity. And it was a wonderful day, a special day, and it was significant to me because I felt like, from what I've studied in school and the history of all of us together, we weren't always at peace, but for you, praying for Christian unity was something so significant to me, and I will never forget it. I loved that prayer service, and I had other opportunities to read as well. I went to Knock in September and read in the beautiful Basilica of Our Lady of Knock. I read every Monday night Lent Mass, Christmas Eve Mass. That was a really big crowd. It was really scary, but I was really privileged and thankful to do it, and very happy that I did it. Um, yeah, and so I remember actually before I started uh, reading for the John Paul Award, my uncle told me, read very clear, very loud, and make sure that the person at the very back of the chapel can hear what you're saying, because what your role is very important. It's very special, and you're delivering the word of God, and you have to make sure that everyone hears it clearly. And I feel very privileged for that because it was a very special thing that I was being trusted with. So it actually, my connection with the Mass grew stronger through this, and my connection with the congregation became so much stronger as well. I got to know my parish. Um, another thing that I did was the Faith Friends program, which was stepping out of my comfort zone a wee bit because I was going to another school to assist vulnerable children in preparing for their confirmation. I was very privileged as well to help those children prepare for a very important milestone in their lives, a very important sacrament, which will strengthen them throughout their lives. And it was just an honor to help them and a great opportunity to know that I made a difference. I helped someone. Um, I also took part in the live Zooms with the Derry Diocesan Youth for the story of Lourdes and the prayers around the cross on Good Friday. So even going live on the internet was something new, and it was very fun, and I'll never forget that. Um, Other things that I did was, for my social hours, I volunteered for numerous charities. For example, the St Vincent de Paul. The St Vincent de Paul participation through the John Paul Award gave me a great eye opener to the society that I live in, and that is what the Pope John Paul gave me a lot, was an eye opener to the people around me, the world around me, that I'm very lucky. So I'm that I can look forward to Christmas rather than um dreading it instead, because that's what I seen this Christmas. People coming into this Vincent de Paul shop and they were worried. They were worried about their Christmas dinner, toys for the children, and it was heartbreaking. And I knew that there was injustice there. And the John Paul Award is teaching me to be charitable and to look out for my neighbour as Jesus is teaching us, or as Jesus has taught us. Um, Another thing that I'm very proud of that we did through the John Paul Award was that I helped my parish raise money for a defibrillator. A man took very ill this year in our parish, but very fortunately, thank God, he survived. and he's healthy and he's grand. But to make sure that nothing like that happens in the future, and that hopefully the machine will never have to be used. But if it does, we'll be prepared, more prepared, because we'll have one present and near us. And to know that I was part of that, I can contribute to saving someone's life possibly in the future. So making a difference is another thing the John Paul Award has helped me do. Pilgrimages such as, like I said previously, Knock, and the virtual pilgrimage to Loch Derg. I did Loch Derg and Croagh Patrick and all last year too, before the John Paul Award, and so I know what these John Paul Award pilgrimages is like, and they're brilliant experiences. So they are. You make a lot of new friends, you grow spiritually, greatly in your faith, and it's just, I absolutely love it. So I do. The John Paul Award has really given me new experiences, new friends, and my faith has developed strongly through it. One thing as well that the John Paul Award has helped me with is to develop my vocation. I believe that my vocation is to teach young people the Catholic faith through RE teaching, and I've discovered through the Pope John Paul Award, by engaging with the youth ministry and to communicate, and working with the likes of Lizzie and Yvonne and Charlotte and all their youth leaders, and Jules and all. They've really inspired me to work with youth ministry in years to come. And so the John Paul Award has just been great. It's a bit of a life changer, really, because it's made me realise things that I want to do in the future. I want to share the gift of the John Paul Award with others. So so that's my experience anyway so far for the John Paul Award, and I thank you everyone.